Happy New Year.
2020.
Welcome to Game and a Half Podcast, the only podcast on the internet that covers everything in gaming. I am Kai.
And my name is Jared. And today, wow, I'm just going to steal my thunder like that. And today, as Kai said, it's 2020. It is the new year. And in celebration of 2020, we're going to be looking at the top 100 games of the last 10 years. 10 years of video gameage.
I mean, there's been lots of 10 years of video gaming.
Yeah, but just like, I feel like these last 10 years...
It's not like video games started in 2009.
They did. No, but I feel like in the last 10 years, like when we got like heavily into games, and probably can remember a lot of the games the most. What are you picking something in your teeth there?
I had hair in my beard.
Kai does not have a beard, if you were wondering.
I have a weird goatee thing, and there was hair in it.
He doesn't actually have a beard.
Why did you have to turn me in like that?
But today, where Polygon has posted the 100 best games of the decade, ranging from 2009 to 2019, and we're gonna go through the 100 list right now.
Yeah, and so we've both gone through all 90 of their first selections. We have not seen the top 10, which is what we'll spend the most time talking about, is the top 10 choices. But we have sat through together and discussed the first 90. So we're gonna do that again for you here, quicker than we did the first time.
We're gonna blaze through it. We're gonna name the game. If the game is a game that we aren't familiar with, I might read a little snippet about it. But we're gonna say if it deserves the spot, if it should be higher, if it should be lower, if it shouldn't be on the list at all. But we'll keep it pretty short because we want to talk in depth about the top 10 and see if those games really do deserve to be the top 10 games of the last 10 years. So starting off at number 100 is Virginia.
Woo! Yeah! Made the list.
If you don't know what Virginia is...
Which I assume none of you do because I didn't. So
let's see. It's a story about two women detectives who are searching for a missing teenage boy. They're professional rivals, and it's how they interact with each other and how it is to be a woman in the workplace, and also it's about friendship, loyalty, betrayal, and identity.
He did not come up with that. He read that shit right now.
No, that's right off the top of my head. Yeah, never played it. I saw a little, and you can actually see the snippets now. So some of these games, so I was reading it to you before, you couldn't actually see what they look like. But this is what Virginia looks like.
It looks very
indie-esque.
It's very long, dark-ish.
But sure,
polygonal.
Sure, Virginia, we'll keep you at number 100.
Great.
Okay, number 99 is Life is Strange. I know that this game has done a lot for the gaming community, and I know a lot of people really love this game. I haven't played Life is Strange before, but I could see the...
we might play through the second one.
Yeah, I've seen the ripples that it has made in the gaming community. So yeah, I think it definitely should be on one of the top games of the last 10 years, one of the really good narrative-driven games that come out. Thoughts? Thumbs up from Kai.
Great.
Number 98 is Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is a indie game. It is a roguelike kind of dungeon crawler, but has card-based mechanics into it. So like your moves and your party and your items and weapons are all cards you use, and you go through kind of a dungeon style battles. Yeah. Again, never played Slay the Spire. Oh, we're starting this 100
This
list
is gonna be really hard for us.
No, this is a game that's been on my radar. I really want to try it. It's on Game Pass, but I've heard a lot of people just like gripe that this is a really great game. Next.
Gripe that it's great is an oxymoron. But that's fine. Moving on.
That's not the word I was looking for. Number 97 is Fire Emblem Three Houses, another game that neither of us have played. But again, from the community, the last couple, Fates, and I forgot what the other two, but the last Fire Emblem game, the stories branched into separate types. It did a Pokemon where there was like a red and then a blue one, and they had different storylines. And people didn't like the kind of fragmented stories. So this one's more traditional, where it's all together. It's on the first Fire Emblem that's been on a console in a long time. They've mostly been handhelds. But yeah, I definitely think it should be here.
Good job, Fire Emblem, making 97.
A game we have played that we could probably talk about. Number 96 is Super Mario Maker.
Should be higher.
I definitely think Super Mario Maker should be higher. You said you didn't think it should be on the list.
I think it should be higher.
I definitely think it should
I can change my opinion. I don't remember my opinions, so it's fine.
I think that Mario is obviously one of the best-selling, best franchises in the world, and to give the players the opportunity to create their own style Mario levels, and what we've seen like the community do with these kind of Mario levels too, I think is incredibly impressive.
There has been many a bank account fueled in the YouTube and Twitch world from Super Mario Maker. So
I would put this at like, I don't know.
50?
Yeah, I was gonna say like 50s, like 50s or 40s.
Yeah.
I definitely
Not
think
96.
I definitely think this deserves to be way
Especially
higher.
because there's going to be a lot of games that we're going to read that should definitely not be on this list or should be way lower than they are.
Number 95 is Cuphead.
That's fine.
I like Cuphead at number 95.
Here's the problem. I think that Super Mario Maker should be above Cuphead, but I also think
agree.
Cuphead is in the right place, so that's a hard one because it shouldn't be like
you think
Cuphead
Mario Maker
shouldn't
should
be
be
like
higher.
51, but yeah, Cuphead did some incredible things visually with their their hand-drawn,
I think
plates,
the whole
but
hard platformer kind of thing has been done before, but we haven't seen a kind of hand-drawn 30s cartoon style game really before. So
Absolutely.
kudos, Cuphead.
Yeah, well done, Cuphead.
Number 94 is What Remains of Edith Finch. A game that we both still haven't played before.
It's a game!
It's a game! No, this is another kind of, people call these like the walking sims, where like all the gameplay is pretty much walking and you're finding out narrative stories, you're pulling pieces from different kinds of things. I guess it deserves to be at number 94. Number 93 is Total War 3 Kingdoms. I believe when we looked it up, this was the newest Total War game that has come out. I think it came out this year.
I don't think this should be on the list.
You don't think this should be on the list?
No.
The Total War series has been running since 2000, almost 20 years of games. You don't think this should be on the list?
What? There have been bands who've been playing for longer that shouldn't be. So I mean, in that logic, I don't know. I think there are better games in this segment that
do Civ
style stuff like this, or not even Civ style, but like that kind of build an army type game. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it has a cult following, but it's not. What did it offer that is truly outstanding compared to other things in the category?
Well, I mean, the game creates a web of intricate intrigue that brings the real challenge of historical leadership to life. I mean, augmenting a genre that has often suffered from tactical rock, paper, scissors simplicity. So, I mean...
Wow, that was live plagiarism. Rare you get to see that, people. Thank you, Colin Campbell, for writing that so that he could say it and sound smart.
It was Colin Campbell.
I disagree with you, Colin, but that's fine.
I was just reading the blurb about it. Number 92 is Device 6. So this was the game that is a hybrid book, audiobook, visual novel, puzzle, and spy thriller, all jammed into one.
So we didn't play it because that's way too much reading.
That's too much reading. I don't know. I don't know enough about this game to... I mean... on the base that it's all of these things put together, I guess that's kind of exciting.
Personally, I feel like the numbers from 99, 100 to 85 are all games that are maybe not that good. Like, that's what they should be. They're games that are probably not good, but did something completely different.
Right, they did something new for
Device 6 is a perfect game that should be in the 90s because, maybe it's not amazing or like the best game ever, but it did something so completely different from traditional gaming that it deserves to be mentioned in the best 100 games of the decade because it's something new.
Agree. And I think with all of these games, we can say that about these 90s. A game that, well, I guess did do something kind of new.
No.
It took something existing and did something new with it. Anyways, The Walking Dead. Telltale's The Walking Dead. Telltale is well known for its narrative-based games.
You're going to put a Telltale game in here, put the Batman Telltale games in here. The Walking Dead was crap. They just used the show, and it wasn't that great. So,
do you think they just
and I
they
saw
just
The Walking
rode
Dead, so.
Rode on the coattails of the popularity of the show?
They are hard riding those laurels.
What about Batman? Batman has a huge cult following and stuff like that, too. So, I mean, that's still riding the coattails of the comics.
I understand. I'm not a huge fan of Telltale games in the first place.
I'm not either. So.
I don't think they deserve to be on this list, especially because it's like, really? 91? The Walking Dead? I'm just saying that there's better Telltale games. I've played the Walking Dead Telltale games. I've also played the Batman Telltale games.
Telltale as a company doesn't actually exist anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, another company has now.
See, so they won't even be hurt that they're not on the list. They don't exist anymore.
No one was playing their games. Another company, I think, has the rights to these these games now because they're making a second.
We've also played the Telltale Back to the Future game, which is absolutely terrible. So that was bad. Probably not.
Number 90 is Resident Evil 7. Yeah, I think this deserves this spot. Again, going from 100 to 80 games that kind of just they did something different. Resident Evil made this into a first-person game where most of the Resident Evil games obviously were kind of third-person, over-the-shoulder action games. Mm-hmm. This one was a lot more kind of spoopy first-person games. And we've seen a lot of things before that with, like, games successful, like Outlast and Outlast 2 being successful with that. Yeah, I had fun playing Resident Evil 7. I think some of these games really made me start to enjoy the horror genre more and more. Yeah, because we played a ton of horror games after that. And
I think Resident Evil 7 is the perfect, like, entry point into, like, the horror genre. Because it's not 1,000%. It's not like an Outlast where it's like all just that, but it is a scary game and it is first person and there's jump scares and stuff. So yeah, I think 90's perfect.
Cool. Good job.
Good job. Yeah.
Number 89 is Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor, and I'm on the fence about this one because I'm like, oh, it should be higher, but then it's like it's just Assassin's Creed in the Lord of the Rings universe. So is it like something new? Is it crazy? I mean, it was big when it came out. It was huge because Assassin's Creed and Lord of the Rings. I mean, that can't be a bad combination, and it wasn't. But I mean,
I don't know. This is another problem I find with this list. I mean, yeah, okay, cool. It's a good game, but it didn't do anything. I mean, Skyrim existed, Assassin's Creed existed, so...
But these are both of those combined.
I don't want them combined.
You don't want
I love Lord of the Rings, don't get me wrong, and I think that Shadow of Mordor is a really hard game, but it's very...
Well, they actually did do something different, because they introduced the Nemesis system.
Yeah.
So, depending on who you fought and if you killed enemies, bosses could come back with scars if you've burned them, or like limbs chopped off if you did that, and they would remember you. And if you died to those bosses, they would continue up the ranks of like the militia system of the orcs and stuff like that. So the game would be
cool.
The game would be continuously get harder if you lost, which if you already suck at the game and you're losing, making the game harder. That's actually why I sold it, because I sucked at it and I just kept losing and the game kept getting harder, and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this.
Well, if you're not incapable like Jared, the game, yeah, I mean, yes. I don't know if it stood out enough from the other games in the genre to really, count as something that should make this list. I mean, there's been a lot of games that came out from, 2009 to 2019, so. But, who knows?
Number 88 is Monster Hunter World.
Yes.
Yes, I think this is good at 88.
Great.
This
88
is probably one of the
perfect.
Another game we haven't played. But it's on Game Pass, so maybe one day. But arguably, I think it's known as one of the better Monster Hunter games. It's added kind of quality of life things that the other Monster Hunter games were lacking. It's a beautiful looking game. I've seen gameplay of it, and it's gorgeous. And they're continuously updating it with new huge updates that are like 20, 30 hours long. So good job, Capcom. It's going to be the title of this podcast. Good job, Capcom. Number 87 is Control, which is interesting because Control was this year's... What? No, it wasn't this game. It was in the running for Game of the Year this year. And people, I think like IGN, it was IGN's Game of the Year was Control. But it's from the people that made games like...
Stop rubbing your leg hairs.
That's how I think. Alan Wake and those kind of games. Yeah. So, I mean, it kind of did weird things there, but Remedy's the developer who made it. But
I mean, we liked Alan Wake.
I loved Alan Wake. That was a
fantastic we haven't played game. Control. Another game we haven't played, but it came out this year, so we haven't really had that much time, and we've been playing a lot of games.
But, I mean, it's cool to see games that have come out in 2019 being in the top 100 games of the last 10 years. So, I mean, that says something about it.
This year, yeah.
Yeah. Number 86 is Kim Kardashian's Hollywood. Do you think this should be on the list at all?
Absolutely not.
But it made a lot of money.
No, it didn't.
That's what they said. $1.6 million.
$1.6 million is nothing for a mobile game. Is nothing.
I don't know.
Think of all the games.
I think Mario Kart Tour has already made more than that. It's been out for one year.
let's not count games that are like Mario Kart Tour and stuff like that. Look at like games like Flappy Bird, God, like Pocket God, Temple Run. All of these games have made millions over this. The only reason that this is on here is because it's Kim Kardashian, and she is a staple of this horrible generation in which we live in of 2009 to 2019. Sure, if you want to put this throwaway game on your list for some reason, I guess.
There's better mobile games that should have been on this list.
The only reason this is on this list is because Kim Kardashian's name is on it. It's not a good game. It's not interesting.
If it was called Hollywood and it just had Kim Kardashian in the game.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. Would $1.6 million come out of it? Absolutely not.
Probably not.
No. So, okay.
No. We don't want you on the list, Kim Kardashian. Get out of our video games.
No. Also, think about this. Kim Kardashian's Hollywood is above Control.
That's weird. Yeah, that shouldn't be. I'm pretty sure Control made more than 1.6 million, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, number 85 is FTL Faster Than Light. I think I've seen this game on Steam a little bit here and there, and I've, again, never played it.
Nope.
But it's a space puzzle game. Yeah, I guess it deserves to be on the list. Never played it.
Can't speak to it.
Can't speak. Number 84 is Flappy Bird. Speaking of Flappy Bird.
Yeah, speaking of Flappy Bird, this should be higher, personally.
I think that it just being on this list is fine. Like, I would have liked it anywhere on this list. From 100 to
1.
No.
Flappy Bird is the game of the year.
If Flappy Bird was in the top 10, I'd kind of be upset. I would say from like 100 to like 70. Flappy Bird can fit anywhere over there. And I'd be like, cool, Flappy Bird's here, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Flappy Bird was a cultural phenomenon. Flappy Bird, everyone had it. It was kind of like, it's like Angry Birds.
50,000 in one day of advertising with Flappy Bird.
Yeah, so $50,000 a day from advertising. I mean, yeah, it's not amazing. It is an interesting mobile game.
But again, like we were saying before, it kind of sparked this phenomena in the community where like everyone had to have this game. It didn't do anything crazy. It wasn't great.
Yeah. But are there more successful mobile game franchises? Absolutely. Angry Birds being unarguably the most. There's a movie that came out of that game. So
number 83,
a game I've played
and I haven't played, so you can tell me if this deserves to be here. Papers, Please.
Absolutely.
Which explain a little bit what this is.
So Papers, Please. You play a immigration agent at a border, and it's kind of like a mystery puzzle / like choice game where you make choices based on who to let go through the border based on, their papers, and you have to look at their documents and see if they're lying or not. And there's potential terrorists trying to get through the border, as well as just normal people, and you have to decide whether people are terrorists or not. And it's a great psychological, who you are as a person. Like, do you trust humanity? Like, if you let through a terrorist and they kill a bunch of people, it's your fault. But at the same time, if you don't let people in, they don't get to see their family and they die on the other side of the border. It plays very well into things that are happening all around the world today, and it is a very interesting, concept, and it's very beautifully done. I really enjoyed it.
Do you think it deserves its 83 slot?
Yeah. I mean, once again, these are games that are maybe not the most incredible, advancements in gaming, but do something completely different.
Right.
And I think Papers, Please did something completely different in that it really tried to show the, player something that maybe they won't ever have any experience in, which is, denying someone access into safety. And so I think that it's a brilliant game. I think it should be a little higher, but, 83 is fine. I mean, definitely between 80 and 60, somewhere in that ballpark.
Cool. Moving on. XCOM 2 War of the Chosen is the second one, or 82, not the second one. And, I mean, I haven't played it. It's an XCOM game.
Sure. XCOM's popular. Yeah.
Sure, why not? Number 81 is Oxenfree. This is another game that I've kind of been interested about checking out. It's another one of those games that's very dialogue heavy. You play as a teenage girl going on a journey on an island with some of her friends, and then you interact through these thought bubbles that come up over your head. And then your dialogue options affect the story. There's puzzles and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it looks interesting. I know it's gotten a lot of hype and praise through the community. So yeah,
great.
Number I almost said 13. I saw 13 right there. Number 80 is Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13. Now at first when we saw this, we were like, and maybe even after the reasoning behind it, we were like, Tiger Woods, I don't know if Tiger Woods should be there. But Tiger Woods PGA Tour 13 did a big thing with inclusivity, being able to play, I think, the story as a woman as well, and then they added like what's the name for it, LPGA Tour into the career. Yeah, so this was added on here because of what they did for this one specifically. Tour 13 did with inclusivity and stuff like that. So no, good job PGA Tour and Tiger Woods. We can make a Tiger Woods joke, but we're not going to. Gonna move on to number 79, which is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Yes, Animal Crossing is a phenomenal game that I have actually never played.
I have, and it's great.
But it's okay.
Animal Crossing is super fun. I recommend anyone who hasn't played it, play it. But it's very much
you do chores.
Cutie, chore-driven kind of simulation game. It's great. It is very relaxing. There's no stress involved.
Does it deserve to be higher?
No.
One of the probably
because
successful games for the Nintendo.
Yeah, no, it doesn't deserve to be higher because, Animal Crossing is incredible. Animal Crossing New Leaf, I don't think did anything,
different
enough from the original Animal Crossing.
Like quality of life things, but nothing.
Yeah, nothing like now it looks realistic.
Oh God, just a photorealistic animals walking around helping each other.
But no, I think 79 is fine. I think Animal Crossing, is a very popular game. I think it's very. A specific kind of person plays the Animal Crossing games that maybe doesn't play a lot of the other games on this list, so I'm glad to see it here. And yeah,
cool, nice. So number 78 is the Stanley Parable. I played a little bit of this game, and I've seen a walkthrough of this game, which is really cool. So the Stanley Parable, he plays a guy named Stanley. He works normal office desk job, and he gets off his desk one day, and his entire building and staff is gone, and you have this very snarky narrator. Who's kind of narrating what you're doing, and at first you kind of do exactly what the narrator is saying, and as you go, you kind of go away from what the narrator is saying, and he kind of is yelling at you for doing these kind of things. It's a very interesting game, but yeah, I think it's cool that it's on this list at all.
There's a movie that was pretty much this idea, which had Will Smith in it, where he would, I don't remember the name of the movie, it doesn't matter, but there was a narrator who was dictating everything he was doing, turned out to be an author who was writing his life, and it was a whole mental health exploration thing. So this has been seen before, but never in a game context.
This is cool.
There's a lot of indie games on this list, which I appreciate, but I'm glad to see it down here.
Yeah. It's definitely one that we should play because I really enjoyed watching the playthrough of it. Number 77 is Gorogoa. I don't know much about this game, but artistically it looks really cool. It's kind of sets of 4 or various numbered panels, and they're all stained glass, and then you solve puzzles by kind of zooming in on one of the stained glass or zooming out of them or connecting the different glasses and stuff like that. I don't know if there's any narrative to this game, but aesthetically it looks kind of cool. So and I don't think there's been a game kind of like this.
These are the 2 different categories.
Right, exactly. I did something different, so good job.
Still in the 70s, so.
Yeah. Okay, number 76 is Gravity Rush 2. This was a sequel to the PS Vita game, Gravity Rush, which was exclusively on PlayStation Vita, which
means no one played it.
Right, exactly. So it was actually surprising that it got a sequel, but the sequel came out on PS4, which a lot of people were excited about. Enough people played the first one on
They didn't
Vita.
have to break out their PS Vita.
No, they didn't.
The junk drawer somewhere.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's a game that you can control gravity and shoot gravity in different directions and fly around and do boss fights and stuff like that. So it did kind of something different before. So again, the do different category. Number 75 is Beat Saber, a game that kind of didn't do things different, but did at the same time. We already knew
the music genre.
Right, we already knew the music rhythm based genre was popular with Guitar Hero and Rock Band and all of that stuff. So
they're like, what if we did this but with swords,
with lightsabers and in VR? And they're like, yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
I know Beat Saber is getting really popular right now. In the Game Awards, they had Green Day play, and Green Day was there because they're like, oh hey, there's going to be a pack where you can play Green Day songs on Beat Saber. So there's a lot of
cool
artists that are getting their music onto Beat Saber because people are seeing how popular that it's getting. But number 74 is Two Dots. So Two Dots is another mobile game, which is interesting. And it's about connecting dots and solving puzzles.
Cool.
So, I love to see.
I've never played it.
So. I love to see mobile games on this list at all, which is super cool. So good job.
I don't think that Flappy Bird should be below 2 dots.
Yeah, I think if you switch Flappy Bird and 2 dots,
that'd be fine. I'd be happy.
Number 73, Mario Kart 8. I definitely think this should be higher. Mario Kart probably one of the best arcade kart racers out there,
and one of the
one of the most successful ones, and the one's still alive.
One of the only local co-op games to come out in the last 10 years. Well,
Right,
I mean,
honestly.
like in the last 5 years, but
Still.
yeah, I don't know why Mario Kart 8 is 73. Mario Kart is an incredible game franchise, and they didn't lose what made it fun, which is so incredibly hard to do, apparently, because we've seen so many game franchises just completely eat shit every time they try to make a game better. So
Right, it's interesting because they didn't change much. Like, they knew what made the original Mario Kart fun.
It's quality of life things,
let's
as you say.
make this game pretty, add a couple more items, add a shit ton of characters. Like, what's cool is they started adding characters that weren't specifically in Mario. Like, they started adding Zelda, and they started adding Splatoon characters, so it's more like Super Smash Brothers, which is like a collective of the Nintendo franchise, so that's really cool. But I would want this in, like, I think a low
Splatoon
is like 50s.
is what I like to call an STD, or a Splatoon transmitted disease, in which they pump their Splatoon characters into every single Nintendo game ever made.
It works. We should play through Splatoon 2.
I'd rather not.
You don't even know if
I played
like
it with Jordan's sister, and I did not enjoy myself.
Well, we'll have to play it with me because
okay.
Number 72, which is another game I think should be incredibly higher, is
incredibly higher.
Incredibly. I want it to be like number 0 on this list. Now, Mass Effect 2. This was my favorite Mass Effect out of all of them. I think it added a lot from the second one, a lot to explore. There's a lot more you can do with like dialogue options and like interacting with your crew and everything. But I would definitely put this at, like, I don't know, in the 40s or so, 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
Not 72. Number 71 is Warframe. Which I think I like it at 71. I don't know. I played a little bit of Warframe. I haven't done a ton. Like, people have poured like 100 hours into Warframe. I would say this is a free-to-play Destiny. If you kind of like Destiny.
Well, Destiny's free-to-play now, but this was a free-to-play Destiny.
Right. This is, but it's third person and has a little bit of hack and slash mechanics into it. Mostly a shooter. But yeah, if you like Destiny, Warframe's right up your alley. And I think, Warframe definitely deserves to be on this list. Qualms, gripes, comments? Cool.
Yeah, it's fine.
Number 70 is Diablo 3. The third of the Diablos. Yeah, I definitely think. I think this
Maybe a little higher.
Yeah, I think this should be a little higher. It came out, and I think there was a next-gen version. Like, it was remade for next-gen as well, because I think it came out on Xbox One and PS4. But no, this game has a lot of a huge following behind it. People love these Diablo games. Actually, I've never played any of the Diablo games, but they look fun above top-down kind of hack and slash RPG kind of style games, a lot of dungeons and stuff like that. Number 69 is The Witness.
We have played this game.
This game sucks. It's not that bad.
Jared doesn't understand how to play this. I mean, neither do I. Don't get me wrong. I did not do as well. I think it would be a good game if we actually took the time to understand it.
I don't think we invested in it enough. We probably put, like, I don't know, a couple hours into it, maybe.
It's an interesting idea.
It is interesting. It's cool. It's a cool idea. And we talked about this in another podcast on how involved the game should be in telling you what to do and what not to do. This game is not involved at all. It kind of just throws you in. It's like, hey, there's some dots.
Figure it out.
And you're like, I don't know what those dots mean. And you solve puzzles and you're like, I don't know how the fuck that happened. So, but yeah, it did do something different, which is cool. But do you think it should be higher? Or is 69 good?
I think it should be lower.
It should be lower, yeah. I would put it like 75.
Like, meh. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's a good indie game. It's a good puzzle game. Is it 69? No.
A game that I definitely think should be higher.
Yes.
Number 68 is Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. And Kai chuckles every time he hears the Phantom Pain.
The Phantom Pain.
Sounds like a symptom you have when you lose a limb and you get a pain where your limb used to be.
It does sound like that.
Which is the Phantom Pain.
It's the Phantom Pain.
No, I mean, this game definitely deserves. I would put this in, like,
I don't know,
40s or so.
Yeah, MGS is incredible, and the Phantom Pain was a good game, and it should definitely be much higher than 68. But, we didn't make this list, so.
Polygon did. And Michael McWhorter wrote this. Number 67 is Universal Paperclips, which, even after reading the description, I don't know what it's about. So we're going to say cool, good job, and move on to number 66. Did I say 66 or 67?
66.
Okay.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Number 66 is Doki Doki Literature Club.
Absolutely.
Which is cool. I think if this game was, not anywhere on the list again, but I like it at 66.
66.
I definitely want to play this game. I love games. Well, I mean, I love anime. And I love animes that start off looking cute and then it just gets like crazy as shit and people are like killing each other.
Doki Doki Literature Club is a very interesting, step in the direction of kind of classic like teen anime drama games and then get super intense.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. I think it's a great idea.
I love it. Cool.
Awesome.
Number 65, which is interesting, is Grand Theft Auto, not 5, but online. We were talking about how these should have, if Grand Theft Auto was going to be any lower, it should have been packed with online and put higher. I don't know where Grand Theft Auto is on this list.
Or if it's on this list.
It'd be interesting if online is on this list and 5 isn't on this list at all, which would be crazy. But I understand. Online did something incredible for the GTA franchise and the community as you can play Grand Theft Auto online with friends.
Well, it doesn't make any sense. It would be like Call of Duty multiplayer online or Call of Duty the story and separating those out.
Which is interesting. A lot of people, or I've watched reviews recently, like for the new Call of Duty that came out, IGN reviewed the multiplayer and reviewed the story independently and then reviewed the game in total. But like the multiplayer had a score and then the story had a score out of 10 as well, which is interesting.
But I don't know for this list.
But I guess if it's on here,
well,
I think it should be higher. We played it so much GTA Online.
I think it should be higher.
I definitely think
it's GTA with friends, what is better than that?
Right. How could you go wrong? Number 64 is Johann Sebastian Joust. Never played it. Don't know anything about it. 64. Cool.
Pretty sure it's Johann, but that's fine.
Is it Johann?
Yeah.
Johann
Sebastian Joust.
If you really love Johann Sebastian Joust.
Or Faust. I don't know how it works.
Faust.
Those J's, they're
Faust.
crazy.
If you love this game and it's your game of the year, I'm sorry. But I don't know anything about it, so I'm going to move on. Number 63 is the Jackbox Party. Hey!
Absolutely.
Yes, I actually like it at 63. I mean, this game, when these came out, it kind of like
I honestly think,
the party
this should be higher, only for the fact that it's the only one in its category and it came out in these years. So
it's kind of like the only like packaged party game, mini game kind of style game.
Yeah, unless you're playing Mario Party, the Jackbox Party is really the go-to party game. So
you're not uncomfortable over there?
Yeah.
You went around a lot.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sore too.
Okay.
We love it. We just played the Jackbox Party the other day, and Quiplash is still amazingly fun with friends. But number 62 is Super Street Fighter 4.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter's a good game. It's a good franchise. Super Street Fighter 4 was just better. Street Fighter 4. So good. I like it. You got something to say?
61.
61 is Frog Fractions.
We've been on this game's radar for a while.
But if you don't know what Frog Fractions is...
Almost 2 years ago, we were reading a list of the 100 greatest games ever made of all time, and Frog Fractions...
No, it's 500. The top 500.
Top 500
This was on
games.
somewhere in there. I don't
not
know where
not
it was.
only was it on that list, it was high.
Yeah.
It was like in the hundreds.
Which is weird, because if you've seen any gameplay of this, or look at the screenshot, it's like one of those weird like flash math games you'd play in elementary school as a kid, but supposedly like changes genres and it gets dark and it's weird. I don't know. It's definitely been something on my radar. It's cool that it's on this list. I can't
say that it wouldn't be 61 because I haven't played it. I want to play it so bad. Apparently it's only like an hour long, so...
And it's just like a flash browser game. Like,
yeah,
definitely just go and
play.
Free. Yeah, definitely something that I want to take a look at. Number 60 is Bayonetta 2. Yeah, cool. It's just more Bayonetta. It was interesting that it was a Wii U exclusive because Bayonetta, the first one, came out for Xbox 360 and PS3, and I think they were having trouble with the development, but then Nintendo got a hold of it and it became a Wii U exclusive.
All right.
It was getting spicy because number 59 is The Last of Us.
This is atrocious.
This is terrible. Last of Us should be, I was saying like I don't
20s.
even know, like 20s, teens, or something. I don't know. I don't know if I can like go top 10, but
there is no game in recent history that has been so cinematic and so narrative focused than The Last of Us.
Uncharted.
Even Uncharted. Right. I mean, once again, same developer, Naughty Dog, killing it. But The Last of Us is elevated what games can be narratively. And that is an incredibly important thing because it's what we're moving toward.
Right.
The Last of Us and God of War are the two games that really showed the what?
I try not to sneeze. Continue talking.
What the hell is happening?
Continue talking.
The God of War have really elevated what games can be and kind of showed a whole, group of people that games shouldn't be just laughed at as, fun children's toys. And to put The Last of Us so low on this list at 59, not even 50, 59 is...
We'll read some games after this and you can be like, how are these better than The Last of Us? How did these get above Last of Us? Last of Us was the first... We're playing Hellblade right now, which, phenomenal game, by the way. Great. One of those few games that have induced some kind of emotion in me. This one being fear and stress. But with Last of Us, in the first, 10 minutes of the game, I was already, heartbroken and teary-eyed. And I was like, oh my god, his dog just died. Spoilers if you haven't played The Last of Us. It's been pretty much 10 years at this point. There's a sequel coming out, but no, it's crazy that this is so low. Number 58, so technically better than The Last of Us, Subsurface Circular.
Strong. It's just not right. It's just not. That's
I don't know
not accurate.
If you know this game, and maybe it is a phenomenal game about puzzles and robots, cool. Good job, Mike.
Another game that should be higher, number 57, is Civilization 6 or Civ 6, which the Civilization games are the creators of what is known as the Civ genre. Is Civilization that started the whole thing, which is Civ 6 is amazing. I have lots of friends who play Civ 6. I wouldn't say competitively, but at a level much higher than most people.
One of my friends, Chris, has been trying to get me to play this game. He plays it religiously. He got one of his friends to finally jump on. Now he's playing religiously. He's trying to get me onto playing it. It's not my type of game. Maybe I try it out. If it was on Game Pass, I'd try it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. It hasn't enticed me enough for me to put money into this game.
It is Civilization 6 is the A, best Civilization game, and B, it is the best of the genre.
Historical.
Well, not only that,
warfare,
but it's just if you want to play a Civ game, Civ 6.
Yeah.
That's what you're playing. And that it's 57. The Civilization genre, first of all, is huge now. I mean, Civ games have blown up and people play all sorts of versions of them. But if that's what you're interested in, that's the best. So I definitely think it should be in the 30s to the 20s.
So we're going to start pumping them out here because we're on 56 and we're already 40 minutes deep. So not even halfway through.
It's going to be a long one.
Okay. Number 56 is Into the Breach.
Great. We don't know it.
Yeah, it's a strategy game about robots and piloting mechs, which is cool. 56, I like it.
Great. Hollow Knight.
55 is Hollow Knight. Yeah, I think this game deserves to be number 55. I like Hollow Knight. I haven't played it, but I've definitely watched a lot of gameplay on it. It looks really fun. Yeah. Number 54 is Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn.
Perfect.
I think it should be higher, actually.
Okay.
With all the things that Final Fantasy XIV has done and still going ham, it definitely should be I don't know. I'd put it 10 higher, 44 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit higher. I don't know. Number 53 is Death Stranding. Ooh,
I have a problem with this game being on the list.
Kai doesn't think this game should be on the list at all. Well, look, Norman Reedus is crying. He's a sad boy.
I mean, yeah, okay, you're right. I think it should be on the list because they got famous actors, well, not to play characters in it, and I think that is something that is very interesting for games. To say that Death Stranding has had more of an impact than The Last of Us on game culture or as a game in general is you can't tell. The Last of Us Death Stranding has not been out long enough for us to make assumption on okay, yeah, it's really incredible now because people are like, oh, Death Stranding, it's so weird and doesn't make sense. But is that weird and not going to make sense going to be viewed as an artistic weird and not made sense? Or is it going to be viewed as oh, this game's just bad, but there's so much weird shit going on that people play it? I don't know. You can't make a determination about this game until at least a year after it comes out and we've all made our opinions.
And even listening to people's opinions on it, it's either this is the worst game in the world or this is the best game I've ever played. Or there's people in the middle that are leaning towards I don't want to play this anymore. And then people that have gotten to that point and continue to play and they're okay, this game's good.
I mean, I guess that then it deserves its position because it's right in the middle.
It is. It's right in the center.
It's right in the center of people you either think it's terrible or you think it's amazing.
Right.
You're right. There is no middle ground. So it's 53, great. Okay.
It's definitely one that I want to check out. I definitely want to try Death Stranding.
Do I think The Last of Us is a better game than Death Stranding?
Absolutely. Well, we've never played Death Stranding. Maybe this will be the new Last of Us.
I have watched enough about Death Stranding to make that determination.
Watch just gifs of Norman Reedus falling with a bunch of packages on his back.
Yeah.
Number 52 is Undertale.
Yes.
I have not played Undertale, but I know enough about Undertale where it's like
it's great. Undertale is an amazing game. If you haven't played it, play it. If you haven't played it, play it. It is weird and different and an excellent adventure into weirdness of the internet, which is phenomenal.
I feel like you just described Death Stranding right now.
No, because Undertale actually has like something going on, like a narrative. It's a beautiful game. The music is incredible, which I know a lot of people don't really play games for the music, but Undertale's music is phenomenal.
Toby Fox kills it all the time. I've listened to a lot of the Undertale music. He's starting to make more music for a game came out called Little Town Hero that Nintendo, actually Game Freak made, and Toby Fox did a couple tracks for that game. So I mean, he's killing it on the music.
All right.
Number 51 is Limbo and Inside. So it's interesting that they combine these two games together. They're made by the same developer, of course, and they're very similar in that they're both dark and platformers. But yeah, I think this deserves to be at 51.
This does not deserve to be at 51. This should be lower.
We should play Inside, and then you can give that.
This should be lower than The Last of Us.
I agree.
And Death Stranding.
Well, it's hard in the sense of what came before. You can say like this deserves to be lower because of its predecessors, but like if those predecessors weren't there, then
I still don't think it should be at 51. It could be 70 to 60, and I'd be fine.
You think so?
It's not different enough as a platformer. There's dark platformers. It wasn't the first dark platformer, so like. Yeah, it's a cool game. It's an interesting idea, but it's not like, I don't know. I don't think it deserves to be at 51.
Yeah. Okay.
When we come back, we're gonna be talking about 50 through 1. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll get started. All right.
Welcome back to Game and a Half Podcast. In this section, we're going to be busting out 50 through 1. So, coming out at number 50, we're already starting with the interesting games and the hot takes. But the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is number 50 on this list. Right in the middle. This should be like number 15 or like number 14 and a half. This should definitely be higher. 50 for Skyrim. It was remade like 40 times. And with like 6 generations of consoles. That's an exaggeration. It went through like 2. But 2 is still a lot.
I can't believe they put Skyrim so low.
It came out on the 360. And then it was remade on the Xbox.
It's
and then it was
still
remade
played
on the Switch.
today. People love modding this game.
Yeah.
I don't understand. At what metric is any Elder Scrolls game or Skyrim at 50? How is it that okay? 50 tells me that it did something important, but people either love it or they hate it. That's what 50
I feel like a majority, 98% of people love Skyrim.
In the last 10 years, there is no more successful game next to Dark Souls that has done the medieval hack and slash genre. What?
I wouldn't say this is like hack and slash. It's more like RPG.
Okay, RPG. There is no one who's done the RPG genre
in this kind of
successfully.
I agree.
Than Skyrim. Skyrim is like, first of all, huge. It was the first like really big game that.
I remember like I don't know what games had come out like after that, but like people started to say like this is like Skyrim with guns. This is like Skyrim with Blake. It's like this is like Skyrim but like insert thing here.
When you become the test for other games, when other things are compared to you, you've done something right. You do not end up at number 50 of the 100 most important games of the decade. To this day, people still compare things to Skyrim.
Yeah.
Ah! Okay. All right.
You got it out? You got all out? Because number 49 is Sea of Thieves.
Think about that. Sea of Thieves, not a very good game in my opinion, is above Skyrim. How? In what world? Okay.
I can understand. A lot of people did like Sea of Thieves, but not as much as Skyrim. I played a little bit of Sea of Thieves, but alone. And playing that game alone is sad. You have to play with friends. It's not fun. Number 48 is No Man's Sky, which I actually think is perfectly
This should be
fine.
50.
This should be 50. Yeah, I think this is perfectly that mid, like Death Stranding, No Man's Sky.
Yes.
Kind of the same vibe I'm getting from both of those games.
And the reason is that No Man's Sky, Hello Games lied.
Absolutely. The back of the game says multiplayer on it. And at that time, I guess technically there was multiplayer.
Theoretically.
But theoretically, you're right. But there's no... It's just a theoretical multiplayer on the back of it. There was no chance you would run into another player. And someone did, and you still couldn't see it because there was no model for your character at that point.
They lied. And that should be taken into account. Yes. However, No Man's Sky...
I fucking killed it recently.
The updates are incredible. But not only that, did something incredible with procedural generation. No Man's Sky is so big, you cannot explore it for the rest of your life. That is insane. Someone created something so enormous that the human life cannot be encapsulated in it. That is beautiful and sad and amazing. And I'm not saying that No Man's Sky is a perfect game, because God, it is not, and it could have done a lot of things better. And I'm not saying that every planet looks different, which is a big criticism that people have.
Right.
Procedural generation is, can only work based on the assets that you give it. So obviously, the more assets you have, the more complicated things get. But for what it has done, it is very fun. It's incredibly complex. It's beautiful. It deserves to be number 50, because you're right. They lied, and that's shitty, and people don't like it because of that. But if you've played it recently...
Right. And the best thing about playing it recently is all these updates, for one, have been incredible. They've added so many...
And free!
Amazing... Right, exactly. And they're free. That's been the best thing. So you've only really paid $60 for this game and gotten free updates.
And not only that,
you played $5 for it.
We paid $7.99 at GameStop a year after this game came out because no one wanted it. And then we just downloaded all the updates, and it is well worth $60.
I've ever paid in my life.
So if you haven't picked up No Man's Sky because you've been thinking like, oh, they lied, blah, 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 go pick up an $8 copy from your GameStop.
Right.
And play it, because it's incredible. They've updated it. They fixed everything. It's actual multiplayer. It's not theoretical multiplayer.
There's a VR version 2, so if you want to play it in VR.
Which would be mind-blowing, but...
and equal parts nauseating.
Absolutely. I think it is well placed on this list. Do I think Skyrim is better than No Man's Sky? Yes. Absolutely. Do I think The Last of Us is better than No Man's Sky? Yes.
Absolutely.
Both of those are below No Man's Sky.
Number 47 is Dota 2 Auto Chess. Well, okay, this was like a game mode in Dota 2.
Yeah.
And Auto Chess has literally spun into its own genre now. Yeah. They've made games that were based off of a game mode in Dota.
Yeah.
Like, there's been new games that are the auto chess genre. So
I don't remember seeing Dota above this. No. So if Dota just made this list...
If this is the only Dota in here...
I would be upset.
If there's no Dota 2 without it.
Because I think Dota 2 deserves to be on this list.
Yeah. Number 46 is the best follow game. It's Fallout New Vegas. I think it deserves to be here. This is the only Fallout game that I enjoyed. I know the reason why now. It's because it was made by Obsidian and not by Bethesda. So why I love the Outer Worlds now is because it was made by Obsidian.
Fallout New Vegas is a great game. I liked Fallout 4 personally as well. Fallout 72 or whatever the hell it was a fucking disaster. So
garbage fire.
I mean, this is the best Fallout game next to Fallout 4, which I view as equal. But Jared likes
to the Outer Worlds.
Jared likes Fallout New Vegas, and the Outer Worlds is incredible. We just got actually done playing through that game, and
best ending.
I think Obsidian has done some brilliant things. So yeah, absolutely 46.
Number 45 is FIFA 17. It had to be somewhere, so good.
It had to be somewhere. I've actually played a lot of this game. I played a lot of this game in college. Because I lived next to soccer players who had two games, FIFA? Madden and FIFA.
I was gonna say FIFA and then what did the one PES?
Pro Soccer, Pro Evolution Soccer.
Yeah.
No, those are the two games they had, and I played a lot of FIFA 17. I mean, yeah, it's a soccer game.
That's why I said it had to be somewhere.
It had to be somewhere.
There was gonna be a FIFA game on this list. There's gonna be a sports game on this list. FIFA is like the most popular sports game in the world right now.
Yeah, so I mean, soccer is the most important sport in the world. FIFA is the largest, sports game. Great.
Good job.
Cool. 45.
Number 44 We already did 45. Oh, you were saying that was 45.
Yeah.
Number 44 is Thumper. So
Sure.
back to the kind of rhythm games. I haven't played a lot of it. It looks kind of creepy and musically and very like EDC, dubstep kind of music.
Drop a tab, play Thumper.
Yeah. Number 43. Drop a tab. I was like, why would you just open a new tab in your web browser?
Tab of acid. Anyway,
number 43 is Super Hot. Yeah.
Yes.
I like Super Hot at
Super
43.
Hot.
It was a great game.
I want them to make a sequel that
really cool.
improves
Explores this more.
It explores it more and improves a lot of the glitchier aspects of the game. So for those of you who haven't played Super Hot,
We didn't play it in VR, by the way. We played it.
No, we played it normally because we don't have VR. But for those of you who haven't played Super Hot, it's you play it one step at a time or one frame at a time, and you like pretty much in Matrix world, you like dodge bullets and you shoot people.
Enemies only move and interact when you do. So when you move, they move. When you move, they'll shoot. They'll interact only when you're moving. So that allows you to kind of step around bullets and jump around things in slow-mo Matrix.
And then at the end, it plays at 24 frames a second, which is the most satisfying thing ever to watch because it makes you look super badass. It's great. It's a great game.
Number 42 is the works of Michael Burrow.
Is that one game, or is that just all of his games?
I don't know.
Can you put a whole man as a number 42?
The works of Shigeru Miyamoto, which is every Mario game ever. Every Zelda game. I don't really know what this is.
Who Michael Bro is.
If there is someone out there who's like, this is the best game ever, please comment and make fun of us.
And tell us which one to play, or if this is just a game, because I'm a little confused. But yeah, okay, 42, whatever.
Moving on. Number 41 is NBA 2K12.
Okay, wait.
It had to be somewhere.
Think about this. Skyrim is below NBA 2K12.
No Man's 16. No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky and The Last of Us are all below NBA 2K12. 2K is, I guess, a good game. I've played it like maybe 6 times in my entire life, and I'm not a huge sports fan at all. I actually hate sports fervently. But, you know, for some people, this is the peak of their existence. So, yeah. However, it is not a better game than Skyrim.
I really have nothing to say. I don't like sports
also,
either.
2K12? Hasn't there been like 18 more of them that have come out since then? None of those are better than 2K12.
That was the year the world was supposed to end, so maybe they're like, hey,
they
tried a little bit harder in this one.
All right, move on. 40.
Number 40 is Celeste. Yes, I love Celeste. Well, I don't know. I think that...
Wow. Yes, I love Celeste. Actually, never mind. I hate it.
Roller coaster of emotions. No, I was saying I love Celeste. I don't know if I love it at 40. I think I might have put it at like 30 or so. I don't know. This was a phenomenal game and one of kind of the first steps into games tackling more difficult topics such as...
You want to talk about a dark platformer. Celeste is a great dark platformer.
Celeste is definitely one of them. Struggle with the ideas of anxiety and stress and other kind of mental disorders.
Well, suffering from anxiety and stress from playing Celeste.
Yeah, so much stress. But it's a great game. It got running. It ran against God of War and Spider-Man for Game of the Year. So which is that alone is super cool. Yeah. Number 39 is Firewatch.
We want to play this game.
I really want to play it. It's beautiful and it's a cool like indie story concept kind of thing. I don't think there's been really any. I mean, mechanically, yes, there's been other games that are narrative like this, but kind of in this kind of story and in this setting, I think there hasn't been a lot of games like this. So it's really cool. Cool. Number 38 is God of War. I definitely think this should be higher. This is God of War 2017 God of War. So this is like the newest kind of remade God of War. I think this should be higher. This is Game of the Year 2018, not 17. It won 2018. This is Game of the Year 2018. And I definitely think that, I mean, visually it did a lot of things. It looks beautiful. And then narratively as well. I mean, the story to this game is
God
incredible.
of War is better than the next game on the list.
I agree. But it's cool because it took an existing franchise and a character, Kratos, and his personality is something you've known before. Him being this crazy badass guy that just destroys these giant creatures. And his story is brought down to like he's a father.
Yeah.
And he has lost his wife and struggling with that, which is super cool kind of concept. And it worked, which was even better.
And as I said, you know, that kind of strong narrative focus that we haven't really seen is incredibly important, and it has elevated games to something they weren't before, and God of War should definitely be higher, but you know, whatever.
Number 37 is Halo 2. Oh, sorry. Number 37 is Destiny 2. Sure.
God of War is below Destiny 2. Never thought I'd see that day.
See, and the problem, I don't think God of War, I haven't played God of War or Destiny 2, but I don't think God of War is better than Destiny 2. I am one of the few people that enjoyed Destiny. I didn't get screwed over with the No Man's Sky-esque release of the original Destiny, which was arguably worse because they're like, hey, we have DLC. It's in the original game, but we're just going to lock it.
If you put No Man's Sky at 50, you also have to put Destiny at 50.
Yes, I think Destiny should be at 50. I don't know
how much... God of War is better.
I don't know how much more Destiny 2 did for the franchise.
And also, you can't count that it's free now. That's not cool.
But it didn't originally start free. It had sales.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, it's awesome now because it's free and everyone plays it.
Because more people might have played it now that it's free.
Yeah, no, it's free.
Right.
You have to figure out the fact that they pretty much ruined these games. First of all, the first Destiny, they were like, oh, this is a 10-year game. We're so cool. Right. Everyone's going to love this game forever. It's going to be like Grand Theft Auto. And then it sucked. And then they screwed us over on paywalls. And then all of a sudden they were like, oh, okay.
Sequel.
Well, maybe it's not a 10-year game. 3 years later, we get a sequel, and it's also not great. And then finally, they were released from their horrible contract with EA or whoever goes behind this. Microsoft, whoever was behind this. And they were like, oh, all right, guys, it's free now. Enjoy it.
Right.
No!
No! We don't get to do this. Number 36 is Titanfall 2.
Yes.
I think Titanfall deserves this
Absolutely.
slot. That's awesome. I love the original Titanfall, and Titanfall 2 just added more. I think the only problem I had with Titanfall was there was no story, and they're like, here's a story. And I was like, cool. You've sold me. And what's interesting is playing Titanfall 2 after playing Apex, because they're based obviously in the same universe. Respawn had created Apex, and to see guns and to see kind of characters and robots interact in this universe that are also in Apex is just super cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Number 35 is Red Dead Redemption. I don't know. I think Red Dead is good in the 30s. I don't know if I'd slice it into 20. Maybe.
What do they mean by the Red Dead Redemption collection?
Well, they
Is
had
that
like
1 and 2?
No. They had 1, and then there was
Zombies.
All the big DLCs that came after that. So they're combining those together because they were pretty hefty DLC packages like that.
I don't know if it deserved to be 30. Like, it should probably be a little higher. There's not a lot of Western games.
Right.
And
there isn't a lot of Western games.
Here's the problem. Red Dead has always been compared to Grand Theft Auto because...
I mean, they're made by the same
person, and they have a very similar play style, which I don't think is fair,
right.
Because suspended disbelief is a lot easier when the world that you're playing in is kind of represented by the world you live in. None of us really...
That's why GTA is more familiar and easy to go towards, because it's like, oh, this is like kind of close to reality, where Westerns is like...
Yeah, and also GTA, like... It's easy to make something seem interesting when you can fill it with a bunch of stuff, but like in the West, you can't just build like cities or a plane. So you're really limited to what you can do. I think that Rockstar, if there has ever been the best developer of all time, next to Nintendo, is probably Rockstar.
I would say Naughty Dog's in that, like those 3 around there. They
all for different reasons. Nintendo for family. Rockstar for the monster they created with Grand Theft Auto, and then obviously Naughty Dog for their narrative storytelling. But yeah, I think Red Dead Redemption should be higher. I don't think the second one should be on the list because I hate it and it's dumb. But I
also didn't like Red Dead 2, which is unfortunate.
I think the first one. Any game that makes me walk 45 minutes through snow to start.
The best thing about it, I didn't have to pay for it. It was fine with me. I got it as a gift. Number 34 is Tetris Effect.
Yes.
Now hold on. Okay, I thought you were going to say something mean about it.
Yes.
Because I was going to say Tetris, in some capacity, whatever Tetris they decided to do, need to be on this list. Tetris is still probably one of the best-selling franchises ever, and still killing it. Like, people are still playing Tetris 99. It only came out in 2017, but you'd think it's just a Tetris battle royale game.
No, I think there should definitely be a Tetris, and I think it should be within the top 30. So Tetris Effect is cool, great. Yeah. I agree.
It was in VR. They added cool sparkly effects to it, new mechanics and stuff like that. Yeah. But still kept to the original Tetris mechanics. So
great.
Number 33 is the Kerbal Space Program.
I want to play this.
Have you looked up anything about it?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It's interesting. The weird green creatures and the whole,
This seems up my alley. It's very indie-ish.
I think there is a sequel coming out. I think they announced it like E3 or a couple E3s ago or something. We haven't got it out yet, but no, I know there's a lot of fanfare around the Kerbal Space Program game. So
I mean, this is gonna be a weird comparison, but I really liked Outer Wilds because of kind of like the space exploration part and like figuring things out. And this seems like a much more intense version of that.
It was kind of simulation.
Yeah, but this is like obviously like a flight simulator and an engineering simulator. So like, but that's cool. Like those are the parts that I find interesting in games. So yeah, I'll give it a try.
Put it on Game Pass. That's gonna be like my thing for everything. We'll play it. Just put it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
Now what?
Is this better than the games that came below it?
Absolutely not.
No,
not even close.
It's not even close. Is Tetris Effect better than God of War?
Probably not. No, absolutely not.
It's not.
I think to each their own, man. Maybe.
Not when you're not when you're Polygon and you get to make these lists.
Is Tetris as a whole better than God of War?
Yes.
Sales wise, probably.
Yeah.
Not.
Yes.
Tetris has been around a lot longer.
If you count of all of Tetris's sales and you count adjusted for inflation and you count all God of War sales, I'm pretty sure Tetris has made 10 times the amount of money.
Yeah, exactly. I think Tetris has made way more than God of War. Okay, number 32 is Divinity Original Sin, which is 2.
Okay.
Yeah, this just came out on the Switch, and what's actually really cool about this game, I don't know if I'm mixing this up or not. I think it is a Divinity Original Sin 2, but there's PC and Switch cross save. So if you're playing on PC, you can continue on Switch, which is cool because like not the whole draw to the Switch was bringing it everywhere, and now how a lot of games are like cross save. You kind of have a Switch for everything. Like you have a Switch for your PC, you have a Switch for your Xbox. Because there's like games like Cuphead and stuff like that you can play in there. So
yeah,
cool. 32. Number 31 is Bloodborne. It's number 31.
I've played this game, even though you sassed me that I didn't.
I didn't believe you.
I definitely have played this game.
Bloodborne.
It is it's very dark.
I've heard that this is like, if you want to play Dark Souls, play this first. It's like an intro level Dark Souls. It's still hard. It's still difficult.
I've played Dark Souls and I've played Bloodborne. I wouldn't say that. I think that you play Bloodborne if you want to get your dreams broken, just like if you play Dark Souls, you want to get your dreams broken. I'm not very good at games, though, so I must admit, I'm not someone who goes into Dark Souls and thinks, this is easy. I'm someone who goes into Dark Souls and says, I'm not playing this because it's too fucking hard.
At least Dark Souls doesn't have a permadeath option like Hellblade does.
Yes.
I'm so glad I went into Hellblade, like, not knowing that.
Yeah.
Because that was such a, oh no, this game's gonna be hard.
But Bloodborne is a very good game. Dark Souls is incredible. Bloodborne is incredible.
A lot of people are saying they want
it should be in the 30s.
Yeah, I agree. Number 30 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
No.
Have you played Assassin's Creed Odyssey then?
Yes. I played it on Google Stadia.
Oh, that's right, you did play on Google Stadia. I forgot.
No.
Why not?
I don't like Assassin's Creed. Black Flag.
Would you swap this out for Black Flag? Put Black Flag at 30?
Or pretty much any of the other Assassin's Creed games.
I do think that I would have either put 2, because I think 2 kind of put Assassin's Creed on like the map for people. Because a lot of people didn't play like 1. I went back to 1 later, and dear God, it's terrible.
Honestly, games that I enjoyed much more than any Assassin's Creed game was the spin-off series. That was the like technology one. Something Dog? No. Watch Dogs.
Yeah.
Phenomenal game.
I
think that should be in the 30s.
A lot of people would not agree with you.
Well, a lot of people can suck it because
I liked Watch Dogs too.
I get to scream into the void of this podcast my opinions and thoughts. So
that's true. Okay, number 29 is Florence.
I want to play this game.
It looks super cool with the art style.
It looks cute.
It's beautiful. It's like a cute
Very
little love
indie,
story.
Little love story.
Kyle has a rock hard boner for
I
indie
do.
games.
I
Except
really
recently,
do.
we finished like 5 indie games in the last like probably month, and kind of getting burnt out on it.
Yeah, we really needed like AAA graphics at a certain point. Not saying that like it's necessary, but it's like once you've played through your 5th indie game with like polygonal.
I don't even think it's the art style. We needed some depth.
Yeah.
Like,
not saying that indie games can't have depth either.
No, I just wanted some narrative, like, I don't know. You didn't like Grease, but Grease like got to me. I loved Grease. Grease was such a cool game.
I did not like that game.
What's going on this list?
I'm aware.
Is it?
I have no idea.
I don't think
I was just agreeing with you because I wouldn't be surprised.
Number 28 is Portal 2.
Yes.
I agree with this.
Portal's amazing.
I would have said like from like 20 to 25 or like in the 20s here, Portal. I love Portal 2. I haven't played the original, but Portal 2 is co-op, and that's why I've beat Portal 2. It's a phenomenal game.
Yeah. Portal 2.
Great. Good job. Number 27 is Doom.
Doom, 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 doom.
Not the original Doom, the 2016 version of Doom.
Well, that'd be weird if the original Doom was on here, because this is
less
from
than
2009 to 2019.
Yeah, I loved this. I mean, again, it didn't do anything crazy aside from just like it kind of added more mobility that you had previously in the Doom games, and it looks beautiful.
Is Wolfenstein a better game? Yes. Did it make the list? No.
Not that you know of. Maybe it's like top 10.
No. It won't be.
I've played both of these games, and I mean, as I go to Doom when I want to just kind of like veg out, listen to some like hardcore metal, and just like watch blood explode places. And Wolfenstein is definitely there for the narrative. So I like.
God forbid you have to have narrative in your actually fun games.
Exactly. Number 26 is Dishonored 2. Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. I haven't played Dishonored 2, but I loved the first one, and this one has only added more great things to it. So good job, 26. Number 25 is The Outer Wilds. We were shocked that this even got on the list in the first
Not
place.
only did it make the list,
It got 25.
it got 25, which
Skyrim, No Man's Sky, The Last of Us.
not even I love The Outer Wilds, and not even I agree that some of those should be below this game. Outer Wilds is phenomenal.
Yeah, aside from its questionable score placement, it's a fun game. It's great. Probably one of the best experiences and the
Of
best
2019
endings.
for us.
Honestly, if you haven't played Outer Wilds, if you have Game Pass, check it out because it's such a fun game. Number 24 is Towerfall.
We've heard.
Yeah, I've heard good things about this. It's a very fun couch co-op multiplayer, which not a lot of games are like that nowadays. So cool, Towerfall. Number 23 is Rocket League. Yeah. I think Rocket League deserves this. Rocket League is still going ham today with all of its like, and including kind of like it being ported to the Switch, and then including a lot of like.
It's not one I choose to play because I don't have friends. But if you had lots of friends, I could imagine Rocket League.
Well, what's cool about Rocket League is Rocket League was one of the first kind of games that introduced or had cross-play compatibility. Yeah. So like with Xbox and PC and like now Nintendo Switch, and I think PS4 finally was like the end of that, but it got on
People
there too.
still Twitch stream Rocket League. People love this game.
Right.
It's very fun. It's like soccer with cars. In case
which I mean,
I can't imagine you haven't heard of Rocket League, but
right.
if you haven't, it's a great time.
Number 24 is Stardew Valley.
Yes.
I haven't played this, but I've been dying to play.
Game of the year.
It's okay, hold on. It's such a pretty game, and it has like relationship management, what I always love in games, which is fun.
Jared's a horny little boy.
No, I just want to love people. Let me love people.
Exactly. These are my games. Yeah. These type of games. I love this genre. And Stardew Valley is incredible. And
I love at the bottom, it says, the game has a gentle fuck capitalism undertone that feels like a distillation of a certain millennial exhaustion.
Amen. Fuck capitalism. Anyway, yeah.
I think it looks good at 22. Number 21 is Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I think this honestly should have been higher. Yeah, I would have put this at like...
I mean, personally, I'm not like...
No, I don't. I've played CSGO. Like, I'm not a fan of it.
Probably should be higher.
But, I mean, the game alone, the amount of money these like prize pool competitions are pulling in is like incredible. Between that and like League, it's amazing. I definitely think this should be like high teens. Like I would say like 12 or like 11 or something. I don't know, top 10.
Should Counter-Strike be weird next to Stardew Valley?
I feel weird putting things in top 10s, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Number 20 is Journey.
We know it's Journey because we saw the picture beforehand.
Yay.
A logging sim.
I've never played Journey.
I have played Journey. I had to play Journey for a college course.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
See? That alone, shouldn't that be reason this gets 20?
Sure. I don't know. It's a great piece of art. I don't know if it's a great game. It's a game for people who don't like games. That's what it is. It's for 45-year-old moms.
Like The Sims.
No, not like The Sims.
But a lot of people that don't like video games like The Sims.
Yeah, but those are actually like good. Journey is like it's what video games are in the mind of people who study art. It's like,
right, I was gonna say, I feel like you have to have like a certain appreciation for games and art to like this.
And studied art. I have an appreciation of art. I also have an appreciation of video games. And while Journey is an interesting idea, I think that, it's just a walking sim. It's just visual art.
Right, and I mean, talked about Death Stranding, it's the same thing. Like,
it's
Death Stranding is less video game, more artistic experience than anything else.
And if this list has said anything about its selection, it's not a selection of the most impactful games, because some of the games that are lower on the list
Where's Super Mario?
Right, are much more impactful. So like, this is a list of what Polygon, a very respectable, news outlet, is saying the best games are. And so Journey at 20 is just like, what are you saying about Journey?
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yes, it's pretty. But like, past that, it's very surface level.
Right. I think I would enjoy this because this definitely reminds me of Greece. And I enjoyed Greece. Actually, Greece probably has more things going on than Journey probably does. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't like Greece either, so.
Number 19 is Overwatch. I like Overwatch at 19.
Yes.
It was a great game. It came out.
It's incredibly successful. It's very fun to play. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Good job. Number 18 is Her Story, which is interesting. We didn't really know about this game going into it, but it's like a live action crime game where you're solving a murder mystery kind of thing. But again, it uses kind of live action visuals. Well, I was trying to say like crime scene tapes of like interviews. That's what it's centered. As kind of the narrative through this, and you have to figure out who.
Yeah.
Did
we've never played it,
so I wouldn't know.
It looks interesting. It seems high. But...
Right. It seems really high for I would think like going into a lot of these and be like maybe games I haven't played, but games I at least know about. And this is one that I really didn't even know about in the first place. So that was interesting. Cool. Number 17 is Persona 4 Golden. Yeah. Anime boys and kind of these games are long. These are like 80-hour plus games.
As far as like that kind of game genre goes, the very Japanese style anime game, Persona's great. Persona's probably the most successful of them all.
Right. I think so.
Sure. Persona 4. I've never played a Persona game. I've heard more about Persona 5, but maybe that's just because it just came out or whatever.
Yeah, but... and I from talking to a lot of people that love Persona 5 and played them, 4 Golden is the best out of all of them. So
sure. Well, it's golden.
Moving on. Number 16 was Nea Atatama. Another game about skimpy anime women, robots in little to no clothing, hack and slash kind of game. So it looked interesting, actually.
Is it 16? No. Is it a good game? Maybe.
Possibly.
Sure. I don't know.
Number 15.
It's interesting to me that the beginning of this list, we hadn't played a lot of the games. And now at the top of the list, we haven't played it. The middle of the list, we played a majority.
We played a lot of mediocre games. What you're telling me?
That's what Polygon is telling us.
We played a lot of, supposedly like Last of Us, No Man's Sky,
Skyrim
are all mediocre games.
Yeah. Popularity equals mediocrity in the eyes of Polygon.
I guess so. Number 15 is Everything.
So I want to play this.
I want to play this too.
That deer is upside down.
If you don't know what it's about, we don't either. You play anything. I guess you can turn into things. They use the example of being a blobfish and then turning into a supernova and changing your form into anything at will. The picture is just with a bunch of deer and in weird position. One deer standing normal, but there's a bunch of deer upside down. That one looks like it's humping the tree.
It seems like these kind of mindfuck games. Right. Is it 15? 15 of the best games made in this.
This reminds me of something that'd be like a Gary's Mod kind of thing. Like put Gary's Mod here, or this is like the modern Gary's Mod.
We'll get to the things that aren't on this list that I'm very mad about. But yes, Everything. Sure, great.
Number 14 is Super Mario 3D World. Yes, I like this. This was kind of
weird. You agree with Mario placement high on a list?
You know what?
Oh,
I don't need your sass.
Strange. I also agree with this. Yes, it deserves to be here.
I would put it like number 3. I'm just kidding. No, I like it at 14.
Go that far.
I like it at 14. This is one of the few games that I haven't 100% completed yet, but I'm very close to completing it. And Bowser becomes a cat. So what else can you ask for, really?
Literally anything else.
Anything. And number 13 is Gone Home.
I don't agree with this at all. And I really liked this game.
Right. I really like this game too. We both played this.
Is it
very short? You can beat this game in under a minute if you know how. My problem with this game, and maybe we didn't explore it as much, but I feel like there wasn't a lot to explore in the, 2 hours that it took us to beat this. But I was constantly waiting for the thing to happen. Like reading all the things and hearing all the comments from the different family members.
And
I was waiting for the thing.
Not to spoil it, but the ending is like a twist-ish kind of ending.
I didn't like it.
It's not. I liked playing the game. I'm not saying that the ending was super satisfying. I just don't think it's number 13.
Right.
Which makes me question all the games that come before and after this. Is it's like I really like this game. Like, don't get me wrong. But it is not.
Is this better than Super Mario 3D World?
No, and it didn't do, even in that genre, even in the thriller walkthrough genre, I think that Layers of Fear is a better game.
Right.
That is, does a better job, no pun intended, painting a narrative throughout it. Like,
I would say this is less horror and more creepy, because it's kind of like a
thriller,
right.
like the walk.
Because it's about like their family and their relationships with each other and stuff.
Yeah,
like
but it was framed in like a
right.
You're locked in a house, you can't escape.
Right.
Kind of thing. I don't know. I'd put Gone Home next to games like Papers, Please. And
right, yeah.
Things that did interesting stuff, but...
Papers, Please was like 78. This is 13.
Yeah, this is 13, and I don't understand why. I mean, okay.
The universe is broken. Number 12 is The Return of the Obra Dinn. I haven't played this, but I've been reading and looking a lot into it. I was talking to Kai about it the other day. But it's I think this is cool because I don't think we've seen really anything like this in this kind of art style and this kind of mechanics and stuff like that. It's kind of like back to the point-and-click adventure kind of games. But yeah, it's cool to see a game like that in that genre being successful. So that's cool. Number 11 is PUBG. They're actually making a new game.
I don't think PUBG should be this high.
You don't think PUBG should be this high?
But we've already had this conversation.
Yeah, I know.
I respect PUBG.
There's better Battle Royale games.
There's some PUBG players out there who are just like, you fucking loser. But yeah, there are. It's just a fact. Okay. Like, how much stock do you put in the fact that something kind of like started the success of a genre?
Right. I think that's where it's coming from. Like, maybe PUBG isn't great compared to other games now, but it was the front runner of the Battle Royale.
But does that make it 11? Like I played PUBG. Like, maybe PUBG Mobile.
Right.
Like, that's cool. Yeah, that's an important game. I just don't know. I couldn't justify putting it at 11. I couldn't justify, like, putting it above so many other games that were culturally more impactful, artistically more impactful.
There was even games before this that maybe not the Battle Royale genre, but have created other genres as well when they first came out that were lower than this game.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Is it just on here because it's new? Like... And
PUBG's not that new either.
It's not that old though. Like,
right. But it's older than some of these other games that just came out this year. But those games are lower on the list.
If you singularly view PUBG in the lens that it's the reason that Fortnite exists,
right?
Then sure, I guess it should be here. But it's like that's the only reason, is because it created the most successful gaming franchise of the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, arguably next to Minecraft. So
right. I was looking on kind of their explanation, and it doesn't seem like there's any justification aside from just this being the reason why. Maybe not even the reason why some Battle Royale games had came about, but not popularized. Because I think Fortnite popularized Battle Royale. Yeah. PUBG made it accessible and like, hey, this kind of works. And then Fortnite came out and they're like, this really works.
PUBG was popular amongst the gaming community. If you were a gamer, you knew about PUBG.
Right.
Fortnite was popular amongst cultural.
Right.
Well,
I mean, if you look at both of them, clearly Fortnite is embedded into our culture outside of video games way more than PUBG is.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we're in the top 10.
Let's see. What is number 10 on this list?
I'm going to be so upset. There's so many things that can't be here.
Yeah, Slime Rancher is not going to be in the top 10.
All right, guys. I'm going to have a hard time. You all know that I love Slime Rancher and that I think it's a perfect game. But I'm not upset that Slime Rancher isn't on
top
this.
10.
Isn't on a list of 100.
There's not a Zelda game on here. Where's Skyward Sword?
Breath of the Wild.
Or Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild could probably make top 10.
Maybe it's
we
top 10.
We do not know what the top 10 is.
Right.
So
actually, we don't know. Slime Rancher could be here. Breath of the Wild could be here.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 10 is going to be
on the next
page. I gotta click on it.
The top 10. It's right here.
It's also right there. Number 10 is Fortnite. Fortnite Battle Royale. don't. Okay, I want to scroll down enough where I didn't see 9. Yes.
Ooh, that is bold placement.
I think I wouldn't be as bold placement if PUBG wasn't a slot before it. You know, if there was anything else before
it seems like they're just pandering to PUBG.
Right.
It's like this is what would happen.
I guess we'll give you 11. It's kind of thing.
Like PUBG would have been placed at 70 realistically, and Fortnite would have been 10, and then the people at PUBG would have been like, we created the genre. They wouldn't have existed without us.
Our game's better. The people at Fortnite.
Yeah. That Fortnite is 10 is fucking ridiculous. It should be 1
or 2
or 2. It is it is evidence of how successful gaming can be.
Yeah.
It changed the cultural landscape. It made things popular. It made dance moves popular.
Right.
I mean, I just can't. Okay, what's the next game? Oh, let's compare it to Fortnite.
Number 9 is The Witcher 3.
Really? Witcher 3 is better than Fortnite?
I don't know, man.
No, it's not.
It's not, but I they're different.
What?
Like,
yeah, they're different.
Okay, well, say this. Okay, Fortnite would be number 10, and if there was like an RPG, Witcher would probably be number 10. Like, they're in not kind of the same. They've done different things. Out of RPGs, people say like this is the best RPG that has ever come out.
We have played this game.
I have played Witcher
for like
3.
7 hours.
I have played Witcher 3.
Yes. I don't think it's any better than any other RPG. I mean, yes, there are aspects of it that I'm like, oh yeah, it's a cool story. Like, obviously, the Witcher franchise, which was not created by the game, mind you.
Right. There's books.
It already existed.
Right.
So you can't be like, oh, this game's so successful, blah, blah, blah. They just took IP, and I mean, yeah, cool. It's a great story. It's like Lord of the Rings.
Well, I mean, the narrative that they created in The Witcher 3, I don't think has come from the books. I think a lot of
all the lore is based on the books that existed. Yes, Witcher 3 has an argument to be made to be placed in the top 10. It has no argument to be placed above Fortnite.
Yeah. But I think this is like this list. It's almost like when you're looking at its number, you're not supposed to compare it to what's below or above it.
That's how lists work!
I know, but like in this Polygon list, it's almost kind of what it seems like. It's like it's 9 on the 100. It's not 9 better than Fortnite. Is kind of what it is. It's like you're not supposed to compare it to the numbers above and below it kind of thing, which is kind of what it seems like. That's why it's like ridiculous things like Skyrim being way down, or like No Man's Sky and all those other games, The Last of Us.
I mean, that's and this is what I said when we were talking like about The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 is great, but it wouldn't exist if it weren't for games lower on this list in the form that it does. Without the things that Dark Souls and that Skyrim did, the Witcher series would not have certain quality of life things that were developed in those games that people expect now to be put in The Witcher 3.
Right, but you think those games are better, too. It's the same thing with, like, PUBG.
Well, I mean, I think Skyrim is better than Witcher 3, but, like, okay, that's an argument that's never going to go anywhere.
No, it's not, because there's going to be people that are like,
ooh, I love Skyrim. Ooh, I love Witcher 3. It's like a wash. It's like, who cares? They're both RPGs. They're both amazing games. Right. But to have Skyrim at 57 and Witcher 3 at 9 is
kind of crazy.
Ridiculous.
Okay. It's only downhill.
I'm just going to get madder.
It's only downhill from here. Number 8 is Dark Souls. Yeah. I think Dark Souls.
Wow, I can't believe we both agreed with this placement.
I actually do. Well, Dark Souls, popularized this genre of the hack and slash games that are just fucking difficult as hell. And that sparked something in people. They're like, whoa, I like this. I like dying a bunch and then succeeding. And now people love these like crazy, ridiculous
Dark
hard
Souls
games.
is where you turn when you think every other game is easy.
Right.
When you're like playing through like, I don't know, Zelda or other like fun games and you're like, oh, this is just, there's not a challenge.
Right.
Go to Dark Souls. There's a challenge.
And we got games that sprawled from this, like Bloodborne and Sekiro. Like Sekiro, all those games spun from the Dark Souls being successful.
Dark Souls is an incredible game franchise, and it is very deserving to be number 8 on this list.
R.I.P. Demon Souls. That doesn't get its. Demon Souls was the game that came before this, and the Dark Souls came after Demon Souls. Demon Souls, I think, was a PS3 exclusive, or might have been PS2. But Dark Souls is what popularized the franchise.
Oh look, our friend Colin Campbell is the one who put
Witcher
Witcher 3 at number 9.
Who put Fortnite? Austin Goslin. Colin Campbell. Who put Michael McWhedder? Number 7. I don't want to scroll down.
I'm so nervous.
Is PT. This wasn't even a game. This is a demo. Granted, this is probably one of the scariest games I have ever played. Like, most terrifying. This actually was Death Stranding before Death Stranding. What had happened is this game came out. And then PT was going to be a Silent Hills game starring, Norman Reedus. And that got scrapped, and then Guillermo del Toro got it. Well, he actually was going to do Silent Hills, and then that spun into what Death Stranding is now. But, so stop looking at me and shaking your head.
Can you imagine that a demo made it above Fortnite?
That's crazy. But
a demo made it above the game that it became.
That's true. That's true.
It made it way above.
But they pulled... I think I remember they pulled this game off the store because, like, people were, like, freaking out about it and, like, having weird seizures about the game and stuff like that. And then people were, like, selling their PS4s with PT for, like, $3,000 to $4,000 online because this demo didn't exist anymore, and there was all this like talk and hype around it and stuff like that. And it was the predecessor to like the Silent Hills game that was apparently supposed to come out, but I don't know. It was scary. I thought it was a scary game. Stop staring at me like that with your sad, depressed face, like you've lost hope in all mankind. You don't think PT should be here?
Oh, really? I don't think it should be in the top 10 games of the decade. A demo that got pulled.
Because it was so successful.
No, not because it was so successful. Because it was so scary. That's the only reason.
There was a crying baby fetus in a sink. Yeah.
Surprising that Kojima, a man who apparently is obsessed with fetuses, put a fetus in a game. I don't understand. Okay, move on.
6.
Number 6. PT, whatever. Apparently it's better than Witcher 3. So
League
for
of
all
Legends.
of you who like Witcher 3, yeah.
I'll agree with this one. League of Legends is
LOL should be 6.
So popular.
Maybe a little higher. I don't know what's below it, but I'm feeling that.
Number 5 is Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go made this list. I definitely think Pokemon Go should have been on here.
I think yes. I don't even like Pokemon Go. I never played it. I watched thousands of other people play it.
I almost got you to download it.
Almost.
You had my phone, and you're like, shut
but
up, download this.
I didn't.
So close.
Pokemon Go, absolutely.
So we have a fun story with Pokemon Go. I got into the closed beta of it, and I played it a lot in summer of 2016 when it released.
And I was like, huh, lame.
And he was actually out of town. You were in Mammoth for a while, and you came down right when it released, and hundreds of people. I'm pretty sure everyone can remember how many people were out playing Pokemon Go.
I mean, it made news.
Right.
People were getting hit by cars.
Yeah, because they were playing Pokemon Go. It was crazy popular. And it was with people that didn't even play Pokemon.
Yeah.
It got the world to go outside, which is crazy.
But see, this is the question of this list. Is Pokemon Go got people to go crazy? Yes.
Right.
And that's great. But so did Fortnite. And more people play Fortnite still to this day than they ever do Pokemon Go.
I don't know, Pokemon Go's still killing it. Maybe not. Okay, it's not as popular as Fortnite, but
Fortnite is more popular.
yes.
This is how popular Fortnite is.
I know how popular Fortnite is.
I went to a thrift store, and in the dirt on the back of a car window, a child who could have written anything in the world, drawn a penis, which is much more fun, in my opinion, wrote the infamous 7 letters, Fortnite, into the back of the glass of the car. That's how prolific Fortnite has become, is that children, in their brains, the only thing that they can think of, where once was human genitalia, now exists a 7-letter word that invokes so much emotion and pleasure that they scribe it into the back of dusty windows.
You weren't right. You weren't writing Pokemon Go on the back of those dusty windows.
No, they weren't. All right.
Yeah. Number 4.
Zelda. I'm betting.
We can just stop here. Let's just stop and let's not look at any more of them.
We'll leave the.
Oh, it's a picture. Oh, wait. I think I know what this is.
Yes!
You'll be happy.
Yes!
Kentucky Route Zero.
Absolutely.
Got number 4. What?
Yes. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I'm glad. I don't think it should be number 4. I love this game.
I've never played this game. I remember when we were looking through the top 500 games of all time, this was on the list, and we were like, we should check it out, but I never got a chance to play it, so.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal game. It's a point-and-click adventure game. It has an amazing narrative. It's a great game. Is it number 4 of the decade? No. Is Should it be top 20? Yeah. It did some incredible things. 4? Above Dark Souls? Above Fortnite? Above Pokemon Go? There has probably been as many people who have played this game who have gotten hit by cars playing Pokemon Go. That's how many. That's the impact culturally this game has had.
That's great.
I mean, okay, Polygon.
Again,
Sure.
I think this list should just be like this little square, and you just look at that, but you don't look at what comes before and what comes after.
Stupid.
I agree with you.
Okay, yeah. I mean, great. I love that game.
Wow.
There's hope now that Slime Rancher is number
Slime
1.
Rancher's not doing 3, 2, or 1. I don't know.
You don't know.
Kentucky
I never in my. That was actually one of the games that I was gonna say, like, how could it not make this list? It's such a cool game. I mean, in the 70s, not 4.
You didn't think it would be up here.
Oh, but I also didn't think Slime Rancher was gonna be up here, so there's hope.
Number 3, if it's Slime Rancher,
I'm gonna shit.
If
my
it's Slime
pants.
Rancher, I will drink my own piss.
Deal. You're so nervous.
Number 3 is Spelunky.
No. We played this game.
This game's awful. No, this game's great. It's just not fun. I had such a hard time playing this game.
I don't know if this is the 3rd best game of the decade.
It was called the Everlasting Platformer.
Cool. Thanks, procedural generation.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with Spelunky being 3rd. I've played enough Spelunky, but I've also broken enough controls playing Spelunky that I know if I can agree with this being 3rd.
I mean, I guess in that way, there's no other game that makes you that frustrated.
I haven't played a lot of Dark Souls either, so I mean, Dark Souls definitely probably would make me equally as frustrated.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm even more confident that Slime Rancher is number 1.
Number 1. Number 2 is the number 2 game of the last 10 years. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Yes! Woo! Yeah, I agree.
I don't agree with this.
I don't have much to say. I don't know if I
this game is so overhyped.
I would have definitely put this at. It's definitely one of the best Zelda games. I would have put it top 20, maybe. Looking at all these other games like Pokemon Go, and
Dark
Fortnite,
Souls,
and Dark Souls, I don't know, man. I love Zelda too. I don't know if it deserves to be in number 2. If this was like Nintendo games, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda is going to number 2. But games of the last 10 years, all of them,
it's not that good.
it's good in its own scope. Like if you're just looking at other Zelda games, it's good. But
is that fair? Can you only judge a game based on its previous versions?
Right.
Okay, so we've run into a little qualm and quarrel here because, really, let's be honest, the top game of the year should be 10 years should be Minecraft.
Right.
Now, there's also not GTA 5 on this list. Which means that...
So that means, is it going to be GTA 5 or Minecraft?
Which means one of those will have been left off of this list. Completely.
Not even, like, on the list at all.
Two of the most important games of all time.
GTA 5 and Minecraft, both, aside from Tetris, being the top games ever sold. Tetris, Minecraft, and GTA are the top 3 games sold the most ever.
And I will say, I don't know when they're counting Minecraft is coming out, because I had the alpha, and that was 2008.
Like, we looked up its official release and it was 2009.
Yeah.
And it was 2009, 2019.
Okay. Number 1.
I think we should talk about Breath of the Wild a little bit more. Hold on.
Okay. Oh, we've talked about Breath of the Wild on this podcast before.
I
know my quarrels with it.
I do.
It's repetitive. It's,
at
a certain point, uninteresting.
In this list, it's hard because, like, comparing Breath of the Wild with other Zelda games, yeah, you can put it at, like, number 2. But, like, with all these other games, it's hard. Okay, the number 1 game in the last 10 years. What your money?
What if it's neither Minecraft
or GTA 5?
GTA 5.
What could it be?
Knowing this list, Slime Rancher.
Is this you? Did you make this list?
I did.
No, it would have looked very different.
It would have looked incredibly different.
Should we just like leave it a cliffhanger like next podcast?
No, I'm genuinely sweating. I'm nervous about this.
The number 1 game
of
the last 10 years is Avengers Endgame. Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
It was just an advertisement. I was so concerned when I saw the purple on top, though. I was like, this isn't either of those. What the f*** is happening?
The number one game of the last 10 years is Minecraft. Minecraft got number one game of the last 10 years.
Yeah. Which means that
It is bittersweet, because if it was GTA 5, we would have been sad about Minecraft, and now that it's Minecraft, we're sad that GTA 5 didn't even make an appearance. The only appearance that GTA 5 made was online, and even though online was great, I don't think it was the best part of GTA 5. Like, that game did narratively something better than all the other games previously. What are you looking up?
I'm looking when it came out, just to make sure.
Minecraft?
GTA 5.
Oh, GTA 5 came out in
2013.
13, yeah. It was one of those. Yeah. You didn't think it came out in the last 10 years?
I don't know. I'm staggered.
Yes, it came out for the 360 and PS3.
Oh. Wow.
Well, kudos Minecraft. That definitely deserves to be here.
Which is why I know that this list is something where everything is supposed to be compared from the point below and above, because Minecraft is 1. Because if Minecraft wasn't 1, that would make sense. Because Minecraft is far and above. Like, next to Fortnite recently. For the last 10 years, there has been no game more prolific than Minecraft.
Oh, absolutely.
Mojang did something incredible. Microsoft bought it, made it even bigger than it ever could have been.
Right.
Updates consistently. We have poured hundreds upon hundreds of hours. I bought Minecraft at the alpha when I was like 14 years old.
Well, when Fortnite came out, we talked about this being the Minecraft of this generation.
Yeah.
Like, going back and talking about games like Skyrim, where we're like, this is Skyrim with guns, or this is Skyrim with blank. Like, how Fortnite was like, this is our generation Minecraft. That just shows how prolific Minecraft was.
I mean, yeah, Minecraft is very deserving of number 1. And I think Fortnite should have been number 2. And I think GTA shouldn't have been number 3, but it should have been in top 10.
Yeah, I don't know.
Grand Theft Auto, the most successful rated M game of all time.
Right.
Like, that's the thing you have to keep in mind, is that a lot of these games are popular because kids buy them, just like a lot of kids' movies are popular.
Right.
Grand Theft Auto is a mature game.
Right.
Which means that, yes, a lot of 13-year-olds are playing it, but at the same time, a lot of adults are playing it too.
Right.
Like,
but it's crazy that GTA 5 in its whole didn't even make this list. Like, I would have been less upset if they took the GTA Online space and slapped GTA 5 on there. I would have been upset because it was like in the 60s. But the fact that GTA 5 in its whole didn't make it on this list and only a portion of it made it is kind of upsetting. I don't know, I'm gonna go find people at Polygon, fucking stab them or something.
Whoa.
I'm just kidding.
Not gonna stab them. Gonna give them a stern talking to on the Twitter. But,
That was the top 100 games of this generation. Do you agree?
No.
Do you disagree?
Yeah, absolutely. They did a terrible job.
Interesting. No GTA 5. Breath of the Wild.
There was ups.
Too, so.
There was downs.
It's an emotional roller coaster, honestly. I don't know. I have to go to counseling after this podcast recording because I want to cry. Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Oh.
I don't even know where to go after this now.
So next podcast, we'll be doing our normal thing, covering topics, but we will also talk about the games that we think are deserving to be on this list, and we will be giving you our top, 30, 20 games of the decade. Why not? We'll give ourselves some homework.
I mean, we can just pick from this list and add a couple extras that should have been on there. And we'll do some research. We'll do our list independently, and then we can go through them at the top 30 games or 20 games of this last 10 years that we think should be on there and rearrange them.
Wow.
Well,
I'm sad.
I know, isn't it weird? Weirdly sad that GTA 5 is not on here. If that doesn't show like GTA 5,
there's no GTA 5. There's no Call of Duty game. There's no Apex Legends. There's no Battlefield game, which I understand. Yes, some people don't like Battlefield. I think Battlefield is a phenomenal game.
I don't think Battlefield should be on this list.
At all?
No.
At all.
At all.
Spelunky, number 3. You don't think Battlefield?
I don't think Spelunky should be on the list either.
Other games that didn't make this list. Dota 2.
Dota Auto Chess got made the list.
Dota 2 didn't.
But League did.
World of Warcraft. I guess that came out before 2000.
Yeah.
And 9.
And they they've only updated. They haven't actually made a sequel to the game. They've only had like updates for the past like.
Okay,
20
well
years.
we'll create our list of games we should be on here before just screaming into the void.
Jesus, we've been talking for a long time.
All right, well this was the 100 games of the decade based on Polygon. I hope you enjoyed listening to this ridiculously long podcast. We'll be coming to you next week with our thoughts on what should be here. Anyway, stay classy.
Peace out.
Bye.